Okay. Is my audio's working? Nope, my bad. Cool. We'll see how this is working. Cool, that works. Game open time. I think all my options are set. Yep, cool. No clue what arcade action is, but we're just gonna do normal. This is supposedly a short game. Barry is there. So I just went missing then. Probably. Night Springs. Written by Alan Wake.
Before he was a champion of light.
Okay.
He is part of a conflict between darkness and light that is both ancient and eternal. He is chasing a dangerous quarry, the Herald of Darkness.
The Herald of Darkness?
His evil doppelganger, known only as Mr. Scratch.
Okay. Who's gonna avoid the light, right?
Maybe. But what are you gonna do then? By then, I'll have had my hands on everything you love.
The man has been brutally spat out from the darkness that surrounds the shores of our reality.
Okay.
He has come to fight a decisive battle in Night Springs.
And my jacket apparently decides to fight gravity. Okay, now it's fixed. Is the game better on... It still has the weird mouse acceleration. I will go without it. Okay. Still poltergeist around, huh? Real quick, just double check my audio. Audio is working fine. Okay. If they want to be in the way, that's their fault. Grab the gun. Oh. Ooh, we have a 9mm instead of a revolver this time. Still 3 shots. Yep. Only 5 for you, huh? That's only half the shots.
The man was a writer. He still practices that art, forging weapons of war out of ideas. But the violent currents that brought him here have scattered the pages he has written.
Okay. So this is still the same manuscript.
And I'm a writer. I didn't become one overnight. Like most writers, I struggled with it. A short story here, an article there. Then I got lucky and spent a year as a staff writer on the Night Springs TV show. It wasn't a great American novel of my fantasies, but it taught me discipline and craft, and the difference between wanting to be a writer and actually writing.
Okay.
The lights of the motel promise safety. The man senses that the solution to his predicament begins there.
But what about the diner?
Somewhere within the Earth, space itself has been pierced, and from
Okay.
dark depths runs a steady flow of monsters. The man recognizes the hand of his evil double in this. He knows he must put an end to this madness.
Oh, that is a lot more. I gotta go. Never mind. Safety from the motel. Sometimes there are ways of options, brightly lit areas can provide safe haven. Yeah, I'm not staying to fight all of them.
I can't stay here now.
No. I hear them
It's a little
coming.
sad how many problems you can solve with buckshot.
You all need to stay away. The safe haven formed by a bright light heals you. Got it. Unlocked weapon crates by finding hidden manuscript pages and blast away your enemies with serious firepower. I don't have enough. Okay. So now there's a bigger incentive. Is there anything here that I can grab? Oh, I don't have to mash B anymore when that happens. For a second I thought that was flesh underneath and not a rock. Let me check something real quick. Just a quick review of the achievements so I can grab any that I can on the way. Aid. There's only 12? This must be a short game. Okay. If that's all it is. What's this?
Well, here you are, about to enjoy another cool Arizona night with me, Eddie Rodman, the host with the boast.
The
Hey,
host
you guys
with the
remember
boast.
Old Gods of Asgard? Man, I actually saw them twice back in the 70s. I was just a kid then, but my dad worked at this club.
My
and
coat
he
does
took
not
me
like
in to see
gravity.
bands all the time, you know. Just talk about an education. Anyway, great band, couple of great albums, solid fan base, and then they kind of dropped off the face of the earth. Well, now, almost 4 decades later, they're making a comeback. And let me tell you, these boys have seen a lot of road. They're some serious rock and roll veterans, because they weren't too young even back in the day. Well, now I've got Odin and Tor Anderson, two of the original Old Gods, in the studio with me,
Okay.
along with their manager, Barry Wheeler. Nice
Berries
to meet
with
you.
them? Okay.
Great to be here, Eddie.
Yeah, hey. Hello. Now, boys, let me just come around and say this, all right? Spring chickens, you ain't. I mean, you guys, you make the Stones look young.
You're only as old as you feel.
Who you calling old?
Nah.
Now, your last album was 1978, In the Valley of My Shadow. And then you
Okay.
stopped playing altogether after that. Why? And what made you do a comeback after all this time?
Well, it was a sad thing. See, the original bass player for Old Gods, Fat Bob Balder, passed away in...
Leukemia! Bob had leukemia, poor bastard. Yeah, after
Unfortunate.
that, we didn't feel like playing no more.
Long story short, I ran into these guys up in Washington, and it was obvious to me that they still got it. So I figured, hey, let's make some music, right? And they went for it.
Now, Barry, you were a literary agent before this, right?
Yes.
Yeah, and you were very successful. You represented Alan Wake, I believe.
Okay, so I'm not forgotten.
Mysterious.
Just disappeared.
Hey, I just want to talk about old gods tonight. Is that cool? Can we do that?
Oh, yeah, sure. Listen, why don't we take a little break, and then later on in the program, we'll hear the new Old God single. Stay tuned, folks.
Well, at least Barry landed on his feet.
That's true. I'm guessing I can't interact with anything here. Should talk to the girl here. Oh, Emma. Oh, I see. That's just a full restock. I need to keep my finger off the trigger.
Hey, it's you.
It's me. You know me?
There.
Oh, wait a
You
sec.
remember me, right? Emma?
No.
Emma Sloan?
Never
I think you
mind.
might have something that belongs to me.
Really?
A typewritten page?
Oh, yeah, that's weird. I did find a page like that. I don't even know where it came from. It was all this weird stuff about the oil derrick and a satellite.
Yes, that's what I'm looking for.
Oh, well, I don't know how you knew I had it, but I guess it's yours. Listen, what's this all about? There are these really creepy guys hanging around the oil derricks. There's something really
Okay.
weird about them.
They're dangerous. I'm gonna deal with them. Try to stay out of their sight, okay? And stay in the light. They hate the light. At the oil derrick, the wheel had been jammed in place and turned until the oil gurgled and flowed thick and flammable.
Okay.
The warning lights were blinking in a fast rhythm, bright and steady, powered by the battery. The Kasabian CD was playing in the boombox, all distorted guitars and intense beat. High above, some piece of orbital junk or another collided with the satellite, knocking it radically off course. Trailing debris, it screamed down from the skies at an impossibly steep angle. All that high-tech engineering reduced to nothing more than a bullet that would destroy whatever it hit. Just to be clear, you should know that we haven't actually met before.
Sure we have, Mr. Wake. Remember you stayed at the motel here.
No, the guy you're talking about just
Okay.
looks like me.
Oh,
Even if he
I
uses my
see.
name. He's behind all this trouble.
Oh, I thought, now that you mention it, I guess your aura looks a lot nicer than his, actually. I'm very sensitive to things like that.
Okay.
There's a bunch of stuff I need to find.
The things mentioned on that page? Well, there's a lot of old crap lying around this place.
Great, thanks.
I think you should be able to find everything, except the satellite, obviously. Are you gonna tell me what this is?
I don't think that'd go over too well.
Why don't you let me be the judge of that?
That's
Fine.
fair.
The page is a formula for rewriting reality. Either I use it to close a strange portal to a place that isn't in our world, or shadowy serial killer monster things keep pouring out of there.
Yeah, you were right the first time.
You can think what you want about me, but there's still bad guys around. Be careful.
Well, you might be nuts, but I've seen the way they move, the way they look. I'll buy that.
They're called
Okay.
Akan. They aren't really human. Not anymore.
And they're climbing out of the oil well? What, do they have secret headquarters down there, or?
No clue.
No, that's just where the point of connection is. It's a hole that leads to, well, it's a really nasty place. That's why I need to close it.
And the guy who looks like you opened it, because he was hanging around the oil field before.
Sounds
Gets
like
around,
it.
unfortunately. Thanks for helping me.
Oh, I wish I thought you were just a nutcase.
Actually, I kind of expected you to.
Me too. But I feel like this is how it's supposed to go. Isn't that weird?
Not really. I get that a lot in my line of work.
Is
What do you
do
do
you get that a
anyway?
lot?
I'm a writer.
Obviously.
What was that you said about
Yeah,
my-
I'm curious.
Oh, I'm very spiritual, you know. I can see auras, but I only use it for healing and helping people. I'm like a wise woman, you know? I give people insight and advice.
Okay.
Just because I say crazy things doesn't mean I believe everything.
Don't be like that. Maybe you should take a few crystals with you if you're going out there. It might be dangerous. They soothe your energies and focus your mind. It's fantastic.
Sounds
And they help
weird.
me take out the bad guys?
Oh, well, no, not as such.
Yeah. Okay. I think I'm.
Or I have some wonderfully potent herbal detox suppositories.
Yeah, I'm good.
Yeah, I'd rather not suppositories. You can
The
stick with what
champion
you
of
got
light
there.
recognizes the page he got from the woman. It is a weapon of his own design, custom engineered to destroy the dark portal. If he recreates the conditions
Darn.
of the page, a great power will be unleashed.
The minimap on the top left-hand corner of the screen shows your current objectives. Locations of ammo boxes, safe havens, also icons. Blinking question marks indicate a hidden manuscript page nearby. Okay, is there like... no, I don't have a map, just a mini-map. Can I by chance drive this? No. There's a manuscript nearby. Ah, here we go.
Some of the Taken aren't protected by the darkness like their comrades. Instead, their aversion to light is so extreme that they literally split into two when they encounter strong light. It leaves the two halves weaker, but of course, there's strength in numbers. It's a disturbing development.
Okay.
The dark presence I faced 2 years ago was powerful, but it didn't have much in the way of imagination. Clearly, the same cannot be said of Mr.
Mr. Ksh. I hate that guy. Let me head back to the diner real quick. Or motel. Doesn't make a difference where it goes. I'm not a fan of how the camera placement is, but that's just me.
I guess it's about time I went full auto.
Okay. I mean, I can give this an attempt. I'd shoot through ammo fast with
That's one
this,
thing
though.
down.
That's the problem. Should use my pump. Ooh, I have extra ammo, though, with this. What's on the TV? There's a manuscript here.
I know
Okay.
that when I arrive, the clarity of vision I have now may disappear. I've made my plans. I prepared for this, but I know the transition from the dark place will be hard on me. And not just physically. It may affect my mind, my memory. These pages should help me remember and focus. That's worked for me before. Even if that fails, I think I will be able to trust my instincts. I'm navigating my own story. I'm hoping I'll know where to go and what to do, even if the details elude me.
Okay. Let's see what this has to say.
Oh, hell. This isn't gonna be good. Is this on?
What?
How can you tell?
So
I'm
he's
sorry, I'm not
torturing
very good at
somebody.
gadgets. That's more like it.
That's Mr. Scratch, right?
I'll be right with you. I just gotta do this one thing.
Okay.
Get quiet.
What'd he do?
I bet you're wondering why this is happening. Why am I doing all this? Why am I so hell-bent on ruining your life?
I'm trying to figure that out, yeah.
My style. You've got money, fame, everything you could want. But you don't know what to do with it. I do. I'm getting all the things you never had the balls to go for. Having more fun, too.
What are you gonna
See
do
the
to the
difference
guy?
between us?
No, I don't.
I'm not afraid to be the center of attention.
Okay.
This poor slob's just collateral damage, really. I mean, made some information out of him earlier. But this part? This is just for kicks.
Okay, gonna choke him out. That was really fast.
So quiet.
Okay. Off I go then. I'm not sure which is closer. I'll just head to this one first. Can I take that vehicle? That's the vehicle I got my ammo, that's right. I have to keep an eye on the mini-map for... That was a bit close.
The enemy tears itself in two to avoid the hated light. It becomes weaker, but more numerous. Such is the arithmetic of horror.
This is a problem. Okay.
That was just messed up.
What, their shadow clone jutsu? I suppose.
That's two. Just one more to go.
The
Something
rifle
tells
be
me
better.
I'm really gonna need the extra firepower.
But do I want that over the shotgun? I tend to like my shotgun. What? Oh, 120. I see. It's just weird. Oh, there a rattlesnake there? Glad those cactuses don't hurt.
To change reality, you nudge it into the right direction. Your version of it is there, waiting. It wants to come true. All you need to do is help it achieve its potential. The devil is in the details. You change the details of the scene to match those on the page. If you get the details right, if you achieve that critical mass, the shift will come, and the rest of your new reality overrides the existing paradigm. The lie, no matter how outrageous, is now the truth.
That's weird. Okay. So the splitting enemies are gonna be a bit of a pain.
Wait. Oh!
Lucky me! I need the valve, thank you.
The man has found the battery, but it is empty. It will need to be recharged.
Okay, not a problem. I'll take these flares.
I need this battery charged.
No problem.
Okay.
Here you go.
Thanks. Listen, I don't know what's gonna happen exactly when I do this. My memory's a little hazy.
I don't even know what that means.
All I'm
Okay.
saying is you don't want to come anywhere near the oil field, all right? This thing could get out of hand.
In the middle of highly flammable materials. Great.
I'll do my best to contain it.
Just please don't turn out to be some kind of crazy terrorist guy, okay?
Okay.
I'm good to go now. Wish me luck.
Wait a sec, I want to ask you about something first. What did you mean with that my memory's a little hazy thing?
Nice
I had a
impression.
pretty rough time coming here. It was like being caught in a tsunami. I blacked out for a while. It's hard to explain. There's a barrier of sorts that I had to break through. I was lucky to make it here with my wits as intact as they are.
Okay.
So you might have brain damage, you're about to do great things with a magic piece of paper, and you came here from another dimension?
No, I'm from New York. I was just visiting another dimension.
Huh.
Yeah, okay. My bad.
Might as well be. Nail gun. I'm stuck. There we go. Would I really want the nail gun though compared to that? Probably not. There's a manuscript page. Yeah, I get it. Restock ammo, yada yada. So the page is in here though, but I can't get in there. Unless there's an alternate way of getting in. Yeah, no. Don't have a way to get in there right now. Oh well. Oiled field it is! Ice cold cola. I bet you the diner has something. There's a manuscript page out here. Do I have more stamina on this one?
The strands of webbing glistened in the beam of my flashlight, fine, almost ethereal. They were fresh and right in my path. I held my breath and waited, ears straining. Nothing. I moved on, concentrating on the task at hand. Just get what I was looking for, then leave. That's all I keep telling myself. For a moment, I actually thought it might be as simple as that. Then, I heard too many legs skittering across the ground.
That sounds like it might be a little bit creepy. Can't open that. Oh well. Excuse me. There's another manuscript here. Okay.
It's a twisted copy of me, powerful and dangerous.
Why don't they
But I
say
know I can
scratch?
fight him. I don't think anybody else can. They don't understand what he is, what he represents, or that all the horrible things he does here are almost insignificant compared to what he will unleash on Earth given the chance. But I've survived the dark place, and it has taught me things. How to cope, how to stay sane when the world goes crazy. He's 2 steps ahead of me, but I can find him. And I believe I can stop him.
Okay. I mean, it doesn't hurt to try either that. It's either you try and fail and he ruins your life, or you try and succeed and he doesn't ruin your life. Takes a couple more bullets, but I have extra bullets to compensate. Oh, my bad. Need to be a bit closer. My bad. Okay, are these the splitters? These are. Yikes! Ow, ow, ow!
Time to make some serious changes.
Okay. The wheel was in place, the oil was flowing. The battery was attached, the lights were blinking, and the CD was playing in the boombox. Okay. The wheel was in place. And the lights were flickering. Okay. And now something about a satellite. Okay. A bit crazy, but okay. This is not the best. This could have been planned out way better. Why was this the option that I chose? Oh yeah, this was a great idea. That doesn't sound good.
I'm here! Just keep your head down!
Oh, my bad. Working on it. I guess I killed your power. Oh.
Yeah,
You do. Don't worry about it. There we go.
We're good.
Give me a second. Can I open up this door now? No. It'd be great if you let me in that room.
What the hell was that?
Easy. I got him. You're safe. I need you to tell me what you know about him. The guy who looks like me.
There was a party in one of the rooms. It was pretty wild. I'm not sure which room it was in.
You didn't attend.
Okay.
No, I wasn't there. But it got way out of hand. Anyway, I heard that he went to the diner and there was a fight there or something. Maybe you could find out more from there. I got some keys that you could maybe use.
Okay.
You just happen to have the keys, huh? Fine. I'll take a look. Stay here.
Like hell. I'm getting out of here as soon as you leave so I could close up this place and go home.
Emma, you really want to stay here in the light.
Yeah, thanks for the advice, but I'm not sticking around. Just go already, okay?
Okay.
Are you okay?
I guess. Thanks for the help. Were those what'd you call them? The Taken? What are they?
It's complicated. Short
dark
version,
people.
The darkness can take people over.
Don't take
That's
that
why I
out
had to destroy the oil
context.
derrick.
Darkness
Otherwise, they
people,
would
I
have
meant.
overrun the place.
Wow, I didn't think you'd actually do it.
Shadow
I mean, I
people.
didn't think it'd work. That's crazy.
Let me just try one more time. At the
I just
risk of
realized
sounding
that
like a
sounded
broken
really
record.
bad out of
It's a bad
context.
idea. I don't want you.
I
hurt. You
apologize.
should stay put.
Yeah, while you turn this place into an inferno, run around shooting things up and play some kind of weird games with your psycho evil twin. Don't get me wrong, you're nice for a weirdo. I'm impressed as hell by all of this, but enough is enough. I seriously just want to get out of here, okay?
Oh, I don't want the nail gun. That's not gonna help me with digging. So they're literally just people taken over by darkness, though, right? Just to confirm. Well, actually, that's what you just said. I worded that in the worst way possible. That's my bad. Looks like it's time to go to the diner.
A poltergeist. Its
Okay.
existence is one of rage and hostility, and its very presence turns ordinary objects into deadly projectiles.
Oh shit!
That's dangerous. The darkness now possesses an object. Oh. Oh, I thought I took another part off the sign. I guess I could have just gone in.
The scene. Traces of violence. A callous midnight snack. A room key left carelessly behind. The man recognizes the enemy's handiwork.
Okay.
I think these are keys for the motel rooms.
Well, that's what I need then. What's this?
Satellite and now this? That place might be involved.
Good to know. Let's move on. I need to head back to the hotel rooms.
Emma Sloan was a believer in a great many things, most of which were entirely fallacious.
Fallacious?
Emma Sloan, an innocent victim of his dark half. More collateral damage in the ongoing war. Damned by forces beyond her control, as much as by her own actions.
How is it her own actions that damned her to become a Taken? That can't be good. Oh, my bad. I should finish my reload. So I take it she's dead?
Damn it! Why didn't you listen?
Yeah, she's dead. Oh, I see. Well, nothing I can do about that. Shotgun time. Too bad I don't get to use my... There, I don't reload my flares there that help against the darkness.
My own face peered back at me from the TV screen. For a moment, I struggled with the sensation of déjà vu. How many times have I seen myself like this now? And then there was that easy grin that never seemed quite as quick or natural on my own lips. The dark, malicious twinkle in the eyes. And I knew who I was looking at. As he pulled back and revealed the room behind him, my throat went dry. There was nothing I could do but watch.
Okay, that sounds bad. Sounds like you either got to Barry or to my wife that I can't remember the name of.
Damn.
Michael
Okay.
Farabee, dead, tortured, dressed in clothes that bore the name of a local observatory. A slim lead, but solid enough. It stirs something deep in his mind. He knows where to go now.
Okay, so that's 2 people killed now. This is the guy he tortured, so he's not in the real world. Never mind.
The observatory, hot on the heels of the Herald of Darkness, the champion of light forges on to see the
Dark
stars.
me! I don't want to call him Mr. Scratch. I'm just gonna call him Dark me. I will not dignify him with the name he so
An
chose.
observatory, a place for a man to witness the magnificence of the universe. But such insights are not what the champion of light is looking for. He has
Okay.
come to find a weapon.
Thank God I don't have to drive. Oh, I have the keys, that's right. Anything in here for me?
Welcome back, listeners. As you know, I'm Eddie Rodman, and I'm still talking to old gods of Asgard who are doing their big comeback tour. How's that been going for you? Odin?
Splendid! I'm having the time of my life. You know, I didn't realize how much I missed that.
Okay.
What about you, Tor?
It's okay, you know.
Well, this must bring back a lot of memories.
Flare gun ammo.
It's wonderful to be back on stage. If it wasn't for my knee, I'd feel like a young man again.
Impressive.
I hate to keep harping on this age thing, but I gotta tell you, I've heard your new songs, guys, and you sound really good.
Thank you.
And this may be a touchy subject, but to be blunt, you really don't sound, well, old.
Okay.
The difference between your speaking voice and your singing voice, it's pretty striking.
What the hell are you talking about? You saying it's not us singing on that record?
Wow.
What's he talking about?
No,
Rude.
no, I'm not saying that, guys, but I can't help noticing the difference.
Son, you're on thin ice. You calling me a liar?
Whoa, hey, let me just step in here.
Whoa, whoa, don't be mean.
They do sound different, but believe me, we're not talking Milli Vanilli here. These guys are the real deal. Why don't you come
Who's
to the gig
Milli
tomorrow night and see
Vanilli?
for yourself? Once they get on that stage, oh, things get real.
Really?
Believe me, they play like they're possessed. It's almost like magic. Look, you see my boys play, you see the old gods for real. These guys project a lot of power. They're not lightweights, you know what I'm saying?
All right.
Okay.
I'll see if I can make it. Now, let's take another quick break here, and after that, we'll play the new Old Gods of Asgard single. Don't you go away.
Well, I'd like to kind of hear what they're talking about. Poltergeist? No? Okay. Manuscript. I noticed it.
As a storyteller, my first
Oh,
real
I
novel
see.
was crime. And it was in that genre that I finished my first novel, starring the perpetually miserable Alex Casey, whose entire life was
Everybody
one
likes
big
him.
event. The books sold as fast as they hit the shelves. I wrote 5 more Alex Casey books, and they all were bestsellers. I became rich. I became famous. Success brought pressure, and I didn't handle it very well.
Most people don't. This probably isn't the... this path works. Well, there's no reason for me to fight them. After all, they are firefighters. They are off to do great things. Save many people. Oh. Hey there. I appreciate the thought, but I gotta get going. I know you want to meet me and all, but... yeah. What? The light faded. Okay. I guess that I gotta take you out, though. Can't have you following me.
The spiders aren't really the work of the enemy. They're a side effect, a part of the dark place's less significant fauna that has managed to slip through the opening I made when I arrived. Less an animal than an idea that has assumed the form of an animal.
Okay.
Makes them no less dangerous, but at least they're a little easier to deal with. The darkness doesn't protect them like the Taken, and thus they can be destroyed by either light or bullets right away.
Okay, so you don't need both. That's nice. There's another thing to grab over here.
The
Pressure.
of success
Okay.
got to me. My wife Alice was the sole thing in my life that anchored me. Suddenly it wasn't enough. I couldn't write anymore. I distracted myself with wild parties and whatever trouble I could scare up. I wallowed in the drama of my life, sure that Alice would stick with me even though she didn't sign up to be the lifeline of a tortured artist. It was my dumb luck she's not the type to give up.
Well, we gotta get up to the observatory here. What?
Hello? I'm Dr.
Oh.
Rachel Meadows, and Wait a moment, it's you. I can't believe you dare show your face around here again.
Not me. That was somebody else. I promise. Right now, I don't got time for this. What's this? I'll stick with my shotgun. There, you believe me? I took out the darkness.
Go away.
It wasn't me. I just look like him.
Are you serious? That's what you're going with?
To be fair, that
I'm
is hard to
trying
believe.
Stop him. You saw those shadow things trying to kill me, right? I bet he got along with them just fine.
Yes. Yes, he did. All right. Come on in.
Thank you.
Impressive. Guess they're gonna die as well. Oh, that's wrong room. Oh well. What's this?
Hey, buddy. I figured I'd take a moment to talk to you. There's a party next door. I'm feeling pretty good right now. A little beer, a little fun, you know?
Oh, this is the first video.
Nice.
Before he tortured somebody. Right? No, this is gonna be the second.
This whole thing between us, it's a little weird for me too, you know? I mean, we don't just look the same. There's a lot we share. I mean,
Yeah?
up here. I know you, right? So I was thinking maybe we could...
What's the issue? I feel like he's gonna murder the party goers.
These guys are getting out of control. Look, I feel like we're both victims of circumstance here. And maybe we could make some kind of effort to...
Getting too noisy for you? You mentioned you like silence. What are you planning on doing? Making garrote wire through the phone wire?
Never mind.
Huh? Ooh. Well, that went about as well as I expected it to.
Just a moment, I'll send the lift down to you.
Okay.
I didn't expect to see anyone here tonight, but I'm relieved to see an actual person. That's assuming this isn't some kind of cruel trick on your part, of course.
No, trust me, I don't like that guy. Despite devilishly good looks, we're nothing alike.
Doctor, the man who looked like me, what did he want here?
There's a strange astronomical event happening right now. Something I can't begin to classify, but I think it's disabled our satellite. There's a very peculiar signal that we're receiving.
A signal? That's what I'm here for.
Well, so was he. But he didn't seem to understand it at all. He got very angry, sabotaged our imaging array, and now we're blind. I believe the event is still going on, but we can't pick it up.
Is there something we can do?
What he broke is essentially just a special camera, but we can't use the telescope without it. There's a replacement in my car. If you can get that to me, we're back in business.
Sounds
Consider it
good.
done. Tell me more about the signal.
I need to hear.
It's almost as if something's being transmitted to Night Springs. It's the strangest thing. It's quite elusive, almost as if it wasn't properly there. I don't know how to describe it.
So, what was the signal like?
I wish I knew. He appeared before I had a good fix on it. He was very pleasant when I was working, but when I isolated the signal, he suddenly forced me out of the control booth. He said it was none of my business. He seemed to change. Somehow he was very smooth and charming before that, but suddenly he became, I'm sorry. I'm not sure I want to talk about it.
I see.
I have to ask, do you always wear that to work?
I was at a party for a local art exhibition. Fascinating works. When I was called away by my assistant, Michael was the first to spot this event. I don't know where he is now, actually. He was supposed to bring us some food, but he never showed up.
Tell me
Probably
about
murdered.
Oh, it's quite fascinating. It looks as if stars were changing, somehow. Or shifting positions. It isn't really happening, of course. Most likely it's caused by some kind of atmospheric refraction phenomenon. But I've never seen anything like it.
Okay.
No, he didn't quite threaten me exactly, but those shadowy things started to crawl into view, and whatever the signal was, he seemed to be extremely frustrated by it. He just started breaking things and left. I thought it best not to interfere.
You were lucky. He's done much worse.
He's killed people,
Yes.
yeah.
He showed me a knife, and he kept talking. He enjoyed the sound of his own voice. A proper maniac. You really aren't anything like him, are you?
Believe me, I try very hard not to be.
Okay. Well, let's get to the imaging array.
Good luck, and try to be careful. It's a very expensive part, and we don't have a replacement.
Other than your replacement, you mean?
Oh,
Yeah, I
dear.
get that.
That sounded more callous than I intended. Be safe.
It's fine. How far is your car, though? That's my bigger concern. Is that your car is, like, super far. I don't like the webs. That means spiders, right? That definitely means spiders.
This must be your car.
Okay. I don't know where the spiders are. Oh, they're tiny. I mean, they're big, but they're tiny compared to what I thought they were. That worked. Thank God they're easy to destroy. That's a bit more of a problem. So they can appear from the ground then, huh? Can you let me in? I'd rather not get harassed by the spiders, thank you.
I found it!
Excellent. I'll operate the platform directly below the telescope so you can explore the array. Don't
Oh,
worry, it's very
I see. Is it that easy? Okay. Should pop right in.
Brilliant, you got it. I'll just run a quick diagnostic on it. Yes, it's in perfect order.
Good.
We're good to go. Let's take a look at the skies.
Wait, are you not letting me back up? Okay, fine. Really?
I have to shut this down. There's a problem with the automated coolant system. Somebody just interrupted the flow.
Really?
Well, you could go and open the secondary coolant flow valves manually. I know it's dangerous there, but, well...
I got it!
Please come talk to me if you have questions.
I don't know what the coolant valve is. But I guess I'm headed down to find out. Oh, I see.
You need to release all 3 valves. It doesn't matter what order you do it in.
No, I get it. You don't need to lecture me on everything now. Ah! Dang, you're tough. The last one's gonna be spider-ridden, ain't it? What's this? 40? Okay, I guess I'm not having a combat shotgun. Though I'd like a combat shotgun. Actually. There. Full blast up close is always effective. Ooh, manuscript page.
I've carried a flashlight and a gun for so long that I feel naked without either. It's all too often that I need them. The darkness protects the taken. Shadows crawl over their forms like living things, protecting them from harm. Blows that would injure or kill a human outright mean nothing to them as long as the darkness persists. But light makes them vulnerable. Light burns the shadows away. The darkness that drives them is still in them, but now they're vulnerable. Flashlight and gun. Sometimes it feels they're all I have left.
Dark. Okay, let's go ahead and...
Okay, that should
Didn't even have to flip it. Ah. Poltergeist? An entire... What? That isn't nice. Get out of here. Nobody wants to deal with you. Well, it's time to head back up and see what we can observe. I need you to let me in, like, now. That's right. They don't want to deal with the light in here. Too much for them, right? Well, I guess it's not too bright here.
I released all the valves, Doctor. Is it working?
Just bear with me a moment. Yes, I believe you've got it sorted. It's working again. Nicely done.
Good.
trouble. I don't think they're happy with our success.
No, they're not.
Look out, they found a way in.
Ow! Ow! That's fine. I can do just fine defending myself. However long you need. I'm guessing it's until I take this last guy out. Last guy's out. That really sent him flying. I guess I killed him as well.
Are you alright?
Yes. No, wasn't.
I still have no idea what I'm looking at, but it's very strange indeed. Oh, where are my manners? Please, come on up. I'm sorry, I was distracted.
That's fine. Let me make sure my flare guns were loaded.
Are we receiving the signal now?
Oh yes, it's coming in loud and clear. It's amazing. I'm not sure what it is yet, let alone where it's coming from, but it's interacting with our system somehow. It was intended for us, but I don't understand how that could be.
Maybe that's just how the story goes.
Rip.
Never mind. Is there a way I can hear it? Or however this is supposed to work?
I think the signal is incomplete somehow, but you should be getting a printout of it now.
What do you mean it's incomplete?
It's almost as if we're only getting a fragment of it.
Okay.
The whole thing. This is important.
I'm sure it is, but this is all we're getting.
Did the man who looks like me get the whole thing?
He locked me out of the booth, so I have no way of knowing. But I can tell you that he didn't really seem to understand it.
So, what's in the sky?
It doesn't make any sense. The stars are just... they're wrong. I thought I'd be able to see something, but it's like I'm looking at a sky that's just... it's not the right sky. But that's impossible.
I consider myself a rational man, Doctor. But this isn't a thing you can measure or explain. I've seen impossible things that have taught me just to roll with some punches. It's either that, or go insane.
I find it disturbing that you sound like you're speaking from ample experience.
Because I am. Whatever. Where's the printout?
A printout of a signal.
There it
It,
is.
too, is a weapon created by the Champion of Light. In its words, stirs a new reality. But it is incomplete, and yet it provides a roadmap for the man to follow, a course that will lead him to a place where he may confront his enemy.
Okay. I guess I'm off to see wherever that is then. Drive-in theater.
The drive-in. Once the
Samurai
scene of
versus
lurid
Conquistador
celluloid
2.
fantasies, it's
The
now
Mexican
silent art
handoff.
exhibition. And yet, it's the search for closure rather than culture that brings the Champion of Light here.
Okay.
Oh, it's you. That's fantastic.
Are you okay?
Go away. No, I want you. But you'll get angry if you're here. So, you gotta go. You know I'll do what you want.
What?
Okay.
I know she's affected by
I love you
darkness.
so much. Did you know that love hurts? Are you gonna hurt me now? 'Cause you should.
Lady, you got darkness on the brain. I think I can help you if I can get the lights on in here.
You can't turn the power back on. It's not allowed. You said.
So, where shouldn't I go so I don't turn the power back on accidentally?
It's the big building on the other side of the drive-in, but it's locked.
So there's no way
Where's
for
the
me to
key?
accidentally do
Just
it.
so that I know to avoid it.
It's on the wall next to the cash register. But you can't. You can't. Don't be bad.
Hey, no
Okay.
problem. I'm just gonna go do some other stuff. Scout's honor.
Wow, disrespect Scout's honor.
Just try to stay calm. I've seen this kind of thing before. I think you're gonna be okay.
Why is it so hard to think?
You've been touched by darkness. I'm hoping it's not permanent.
Remember when you were here before and you kissed me? And then everything got all dark? That was the best.
Okay.
Listen, this is very important. Where did I go? Can you tell me that?
Baby, you don't need to go anywhere. You're here now, and you're in my head. You should be in me.
Whoa, okay. Okay,
Not with a
okay,
10-foot
okay.
pole, lady. Hey, just in case there's a part of you in there that's freaking out right now, it's not your fault. I promise I'll do what I can to help you, okay?
He sounds creepy.
I don't... Please go away.
Don't sweat it. I'm just saying that in case you really need to hear it, I've been there.
I think there are spiders in my eyes. I think you put them in me.
Yeah, I'm just gonna
Okay.
go now.
Yeah, that was kind of creepy thing to say. So I'll just restock and. Oh, look at this! I accidentally picked up the keys. My bad.
And we're back with Old Gods of Asgard and their manager, Barry Wheeler.
I'm gonna have to head around and pick up the manuscript.
You're playing a lot of your classic material, but you've also got a new single out, right? How'd that come
Yes.
about? Was it hard to go back into the studio after such a long time?
Are you kidding me? They were chomping at the bit. They were just itching to stretch those creative muscles. Now, it had been a while because, they spent a lot of time in,
Retirement. We were retired.
We were?
Yeah.
No. We were at the lodge, and
We escaped. We were at the retirement
retirement thing.
Okay.
So, really, once we got in the studio, things started happening. Now, the music has changed a little bit, and the boys were a little rusty, so it took us a while to find the right gear. But hey, once we got going, boy, they kick ass. And it's an awesome song. It's called Balance Slays.
Okay.
And seriously, I think it's their finest work. And hey, I should know, I produced it.
Oh, really? I didn't know you were a producer.
Well, this was my first time. I mean, they needed a little bit of guidance, you know what I mean? Don't get me wrong, these guys are the best. But it's the 21st century, man. Things just sound a little different these days. So,
Do they?
I stepped in there, helped them make it sound all cool, kind of jazzed it up.
That sounds like a challenge.
Oh, no, it was really easy, man. I was just, hey, give it a little zing, Let's take it to another level so it really rips. Let's just throw some really sweet synths in, like that,
Okay.
But it's totally Old Gods.
Well, listeners, you can judge for yourselves. Here's Old Gods of Asgard and Balance Slays the Demon.
Oh, yeah.
deep in the ocean of darkness.
Yeah, I don't want to listen to that.
The man has encountered this before. People whose integrity has been suborned by the insidious touch of the darkness. He has experienced it himself, but merciful
my
light
bad.
burned away the darkness in his brain.
That actually doesn't sound too bad. But I need to head around to pick this up. Wow, I got some major height on that one.
My writer's block got worse. I didn't sleep much anymore. My life with Alice seemed like a constant fight. I was a wreck. Alice took steps. She booked a vacation in Bright Falls, a small town in Washington. It was supposed to be a chance to break out of the cycle I was in. She didn't know about the darkness in Cauldron Lake.
Mm-hmm. He isn't just relying on
Not good.
their fame, is he? I hope he isn't. Ah! Should have gone closer to you. It's my bad. Sawn off. I think I'd prefer a combat over a sawn off. Nope, I did not mean to knock all that over.
Oh, look! Mr. Hero's here! You ready to save the day?
No, I still need to follow the script. Those guys look a little mean. These guys are the splitters. It's 3 bullets from my gun. Manuscript. I need it. Thank you.
It's been 2 years since I came here. Being that long without Alice breaks my heart. And I know it broke hers. I know she thinks I'm dead. How could I blame her for that? It would be a crime to pretend that she owes me anything. She took all the stupid, self-indulgent bullshit I brought into her life and still stood by me. Still loved me. It's no betrayal. But I'm a better person now than I used to be. I want to be that person with her.
Okay. Might be a little bit late, but let's hope not. Okay. I don't see the ammo. Oh! Slice him across the back? He still has the gun near him, though. Okay. You doing anything other than dance? No, that was the entire thing? I feel like I wasted my time. I can't jump that. Okay. It's worth an attempt.
Shit yourself when you realize what I have done. Shut up!
I don't think the snakes are real. Okay. I'm starting to think that this one's less scary than the other. Assault rifle. I don't have enough. Ouch. Oh well. Not quite sure how I turn on the power. That's not openable. Nice try. I got you covered. I need to check a message. I didn't get a response. Never mind. Thought I did. I'll take this.
Alice.
What about
my
her?
wife. The best thing that ever happened to me. She smiles and the darkness lifts. For her, I've tried things I otherwise never would. I've never really minded if it's made me feel like a fool. She's a photographer, and the world she sees through her lenses is unique and beautiful. She has the vision. She sees things others don't and knows how to make them visible to everybody.
Okay.
She did it with me, too. She teased out things I was only vaguely aware of. She always saw me in the best possible light.
And avoided the dark, right? All the noises are just filler, I bet. They're not actually anything.
Okay, I should be able to figure this out.
Just flip 3 on, right? Should be as simple as that. What? No. I'm actually surprised. You all want to play near... You just broke a transformer! Running straight at someone with a gun. Also not very smart. I'd rather not get shocked. That was a little bit dangerous. What? Where's the turn? How do I get out? Excuse me. Through here, I guess. The electricity is a bit much. God, the electric feel makes me, or the electric sounds make me a little uneasy. Good, I made it out. Hey there, buddy.
No idea how badly you're screwed. It's gonna be a blast to watch you find out.
Hey!
Don't want to get hit by those.
I already figured out that I don't want to get hit by a darkness grenade. That feels pretty obvious. Don't mind me, just making my way downtown. Well, uphill. That's bad! That's also bad! Yeah, this is just a video of him torturing that person. I could restock on ammo real quick. You need to work on your cinematography, buddy. Wait, manuscript. I need it. Thank you.
The car seemed to sail through the crisp mountain air in slow motion, spinning around one axis almost lazily. The moment was hypnotic. Then it struck the pipeline in a shower of sparks, the impact turning the windshield into a burst of safety glass. As it hit the ground, I snapped out of my reverie. The car was rolling downhill, slowing down as every bump killed momentum, but still coming. The fence wouldn't be enough to stop it.
Not sure what it's talking about, but on my way. Oh my, that actually scared me a bit. Oh, you're not a grenade thrower. I need to reload. Give me a sec. Come on, you got more? How unfortunate for you. I just need to turn the lights on the building. It must be in it, right?
I can smell you out there.
Can you? Let me reload in case you go all psycho on me. Oops!
No, don't. Oh, it's not. It's you. Did you help me?
Sorta.
Looks like you're feeling better now.
Yes.
Let me. Hold on. It's a dumb joke.
I am. Thank you so much. I don't know what happened. There was this guy.
Before you say anything, I know I look like him, but I'm not.
Don't worry.
Obviously.
I just don't feel anything like he does. He was in my head. I feel like I need to take 50 showers.
Where is he?
That asshole wanted to get into the projector booth. He was talking about fixing things so the sun never comes up. God, it didn't seem that weird when he was saying it. It sounded really good at the time.
You weren't yourself. The projector booth. That sounds about right. I need to get in there.
I have the access code for the door. Here.
Thanks.
Thanks for handing me nothing.
He said he'd be back after he'd arranged for some security.
Do you feel up to telling me what's going on here?
We have an art exhibition here, supposed to open tomorrow. I'm the curator. My name's Serena Valdivia.
Alan Wake.
Holy shit, it is you. I mean, I've seen you on the big screen. I know your wife.
You know Alice? Wait. Big screen.
Yeah, I'm confused.
We have a film from her here. What the hell happened to you?
Getting back to Alice.
Oh, God, yeah, sorry.
I see.
It's quite a coincidence that you're here. She made this short film. I mean, she shot it years ago. You're in it. It's a part of the exhibition.
The exhibition, huh?
Yeah, it's like... I mean, it's just footage she shot of you at some point, but she turned it into this thing. It's almost like a memorial of sorts, because, you know, you're supposed to be dead, or
what she thought was dead, okay.
How's Alice? Is she alright?
She's okay, I guess, all things considered. I know her pretty well. You're really Alan? I can't believe you're here. Nobody knows what happened to you. But there are people who say they've seen you.
That wasn't me. He just looks the same. Like, you know.
Yeah.
You've seen him.
That guy's a lot more slimy. The thought of him makes me... I hate him, but there's something about him, God, he's so creepy. Anyway, You're not like him. At all.
Okay.
I hope you can stop him.
Maybe. Well, I'm gonna go figure that out. Dang, you can see the projector pretty well from here. Well, he didn't have time to set up his security. Maybe he did.
That's the security system? I guess it was too much to hope for an alarm.
Rent-a-cop. That's a thing. I need to reload. There we go. Through the cactuses with no consequences. Oi! You came rather close there. I don't want to talk about that shot. Not in the slightest. A little close. That sounds like I'm getting attacked. He really needs to create something that's strong against shotguns. Because that's the only weapon I seem to need. Well, I guess that's all I needed. Boop, boop, boop,
The
boop,
champion
boop.
of light can feel the fragment of the signal in his pocket. The weapon that can change what will be. It's incomplete, but it's all he has.
Okay. It was late at night. The summer was almost over. What? Late at night? Well, that's late at night. Interesting. So that's not what I need to interact with. Uh-huh. Wait, is that... That's AM. Guess that's considered late at night. That seems to be correct as well.
Oh, hell, this isn't going right.
What is it? What he wrote instead?
You've been up to something, haven't you? Too bad it's not gonna do any good. I'm a better you than you ever will be, and I've got all the time in the world. Everything you've got's going to be mine. Your life. Your wife! What are you gonna do about it? The sun's never coming up now. I can keep this up forever.
Okay.
Show yourself!
Be right behind you. Did he actually defeat me? No way.
rush of darkness is unstoppable. Time itself twists and tears, sweeping the champion of light back with its dark currents.
Okay.
Again, he enters the world, but now he sees the trap for what it is. A maze that loops back into itself.
I'm here again. They sent me back.
I don't know where here is, though. Oh, wait, this is the place that we...
I was constantly under
yeah,
attack
in
by
Bright
birds
Falls.
that were more shadow than flesh and feathers. But this is an evolution. Some of the Taken were actually capable of turning into a flock of birds to escape my attacks and turning back into human form to make surprise attacks.
I have no problem with that place sinking. So it sent me back in time, huh? First mistake. Now I can defeat you faster. Or sooner in the timeline of things. That's the sign of there being spiders. Oh, I see.
Oh, not birds again. What the hell?
Okay. This is slightly... wrong thing. Oh. So they don't like light. So it's better just to shoot them. That's a problem. Three shotgun shots. I gotta go talk to Emma then. Oh, I unlocked the SMG again. Thank you for the ammo.
Emma? You here?
There's... something in here. Can't interact with it. Oh well. Hey there, Emma.
Wow, it is you. I guess all of it really happened.
What?
Remember me?
Kind of. I felt weird all day, like I could almost remember a dream I had, and then just before sunset, I remembered the page.
Okay.
I'm going to have to go get those things again.
Great.
All of them.
A loop.
I went out and got them. Well, most of them. I felt stupid at first, but then it was getting dark, and those things started showing up, and one of them made off with the battery. It
Okay.
ran into the railroad tunnel. There was no way I was gonna follow him in there. Sorry.
No
It's
worries.
good you didn't. You should be careful. I mean, really careful.
You died.
I kinda remember something. Something bad happened to me, didn't it?
Forget it. It doesn't have to happen again, okay? Just do what I say.
Yeah, okay. God, this is too weird. Am I going crazy here? Just go get that battery.
Try to stay calm. You're perfectly sane. We're caught in a time loop. That's why this is happening again.
I believe you. God, I feel like I might just lose it any second now. How come you're not freaking out over this?
Used to
Because
it.
on my personal weird shit-o-meter, this just doesn't rate.
Look, I know something happened to me before.
You're gonna be okay. If you just keep cool, okay? Thanks for getting this stuff for me. It's a big help.
I hope so. Are you gonna make everything blow up at the oil field again?
Yeah.
Well, whatever the hell else you might be, at least you're not boring.
Just the battery. That'll save time.
Yeah, I'm not sure I like this whole time loop aspect. Quite frankly, I think it's a little bit annoying. My
Night
ear is
Springs
bothering
doesn't
me.
exist. It's a fictional town from the TV show I used to work on. It was Any Place USA, a place we used as a backdrop for whatever strange story we had that week. One of the stories I wrote for the show involved a man, the champion of light, fighting his evil double, the Herald of Darkness. It was something I'd written back in the real world, something I had a link to, a framework I could build on. I had adapted it into a new story. This story.
Okay. So that's how this is working then. What's he got to show us this time?
Okay. So this chick just came up to me and said she's my biggest fan. I know. They all say that, right?
Okay.
And she's giving me the eye. So I make a couple of moves. We have a couple of drinks. And then things start happening. But I say I have to go to the bathroom first. Uh-oh, right?
No.
She's got no idea. Watch this. This is gonna be priceless.
He swung out a gun. Knife.
That's nice.
I thought you'd like that. Are you tense? You feel
My
any
ear is
tense?
bothering
Maybe
me.
a little. I had a crappy day.
Oh, it's about to get worse.
It's improving real fast.
Yeah.
Hey, don't stop. It's just getting good.
Watch this.
Yeah, I didn't think anything different was gonna happen.
Yeah! Did you see that?
I did.
Man, did you see her?
I did.
Boom!
Anything else you gotta show me? I'm not surprised you killed her. Everyone you've interacted with, you killed except one. Two. No, nothing else to say. Just sat by each other. Sitting next to a corpse. Not sure I could ever get used to that. Okay.
Now Night Springs is in Arizona, although not for long. It's in Arizona because whatever the town that has become Night Springs is really called is located near one of the thin, worn places in the world where dreams and reality flow together and life is always a little strange.
Okay.
Perfect analogy for Night Springs. I can't return to the real world. I've tried, but I'm operating on dream logic.
He's already
Forcing
said
the door
that,
open
I'm
a
pretty
crack
sure.
so I can slip through. I can enter the strange little town of Night Springs. All I did was put it in Arizona for one night.
Okay. Here's the mines. Shouldn't be an issue.
Well, this should be perfectly safe.
Last time you entered mines, it wasn't. Let me check something. Okay. Oh my. The spider actually got me a bit. I'm gonna get attacked by
Now I
all
just
sorts
need
of
her to charge
spiders.
this up.
And I just need to get out of here. Of course. There's a simple solution. Ow! What do you know? I got kind of lucky with the flares there. Other than the amount of them, I didn't expect so many on the way back. You can't dig out of concrete, right? That'd be ridiculous.
Found the battery.
Okay, I'll charge it.
Thank you.
Here. Try not to get killed.
Okay. I'm gonna take care of this. Try to stay calm.
Look, what if you stay here with me, please?
I'm sorry, but if I don't deal with this, no one else will.
Yeah, I guess. It's just that this is getting really creepy. I believe this is real, but I don't understand any of it.
My ear is bothering me so
I can't
bad.
believe you're so calm.
I'm calm because...
But I've had a lot of time to get used to it. That helps. The guy who looks like me is the reason this is happening. I caught up with him, but he swept me back here.
Back in time.
Mm-hmm.
It's a trap. We'll be doing this forever unless I can break out of it.
How are you gonna do that?
No clue.
I'm working on it. I came prepared, but things got kind of scrambled when I arrived. I'm tracking down the things I need.
Yeah, well, feel free to climb back into your DeLorean or whatever it is you do.
I wish it was that simple. Well, time to set everything back. I guess I'm doing the same 3 missions again. I'm not particularly excited for that. You want to continue? I can continue. Believe me, I got plenty of shotgun ammo. Ooh, page.
I don't make friends easily. I know plenty of people, but I don't let most of them close. I've known Barry Wheeler ever since we were little boys. We had the time of our lives. I'd get us in trouble, and he'd talk us out of it.
Dang, that's impressive.
Things haven't changed that much now that we're grown-ups. He's the most loyal and dependable person I've ever met, and all the things that count anyway. You could call him a weasel, and you wouldn't be entirely wrong. You could call him a clown, and I would reluctantly agree. But he has never let me down.
Okay. I'm not one to judge on who you befriend. There are much worse people than him, so... Of course. Ow, ow. Didn't expect that, to be quite frank.
Well,
That's the same thing.
Better get ready to run.
Yeah, no, I know. I forgot to start the oil flow. One turn of the wheels all it took. What's this? Shotgun ammo? Could always use that. I have a manuscript before I forget, apparently. Here it is.
I'm trapped in the darkness. He has started appearing to me. Mr. He can travel back into the world effortlessly, and he loves to rub my face in it. At first, he was just an echo in the darkness, a flicker beyond the edge of my vision. Now he started showing himself,
Okay.
getting bolder all the time, telling me what a great time he's having in the world while I'm stuck here, and what he plans to do, especially to Alice. All the moves I have left are dangerous and desperate. I have no choice. I have to hunt him.
Well, like I said, it's either you win and you get your life back, or you lose and it's not your problem. Impressive that a meteor happens to hit it. Nothing's different here. This is the second game about light fighting darkness that has had a time plot involved in it. Hey, wait, what are you all doing here? Oh, my bad. She should still be at the hotel.
She'll be in trouble. Better hurry.
Yeah, I should. Oh, I didn't even realize that this crashed here. Was it there the first time?
Emma! Coming! This is not the bad thing! Nothing!
Oi! Oh, the backstab got me. Who'd have figured?
Emma! Coming! This is not the bad thing! Nothing!
I'm not sure how that hit didn't count. Oh, I didn't get my shotgun up in time. Well, now it's a mistake.
Just keep your head down!
Okay. I have a couple of tracers in here. I don't think all of the bullets are tracers, though. Yep, saved you.
It's okay. It's safe now.
I got a really bad feeling about all of this.
I'm gonna need those keys to the diner now. There's a motel key there that I have to get.
Oh,
Okay.
hey, you don't have to do that. I have the motel master key. I work for the same company, you know. What's at the motel?
Well, there's a dead guy. He's got something I need to get into the Mount Redtooth Observatory.
Okay.
God, that's awful. Hey, you wanted to know about the guy who looked like you, didn't you?
Yes, please.
Last time you said he had a party, but you didn't go.
No, that's not true. I did go. It was really great at first, and then I didn't see it myself, but I hear he turned nasty. He hurt a bunch of guys.
Which I did
pretty bad,
see.
And there was this girl.
Also saw.
She died. But I didn't hear about that until afterwards. I thought that he was so charming.
And then he went to the diner.
That's right.
Then got into
I
a
wasn't
fight.
involved. I wasn't
Yes.
involved with that at all. I don't know what happened.
Fine. I need to check out these motel rooms. In the meantime, you stay here, okay? I'm serious. Keep the lights on and stay here.
Yeah, okay. You got it. I sure hope you're right about this.
You're gonna stay here this time, right?
Because the last time I didn't, and that thing, whatever it is, happened to me.
Yeah.
Yes,
I don't want you to
obviously.
get hurt again.
Don't worry, I'm gonna stay put. I don't remember what happened exactly, but I learned my lesson.
Good. It doesn't have to happen exactly the same way this time around. You proved that much when you went out and got those things for me. I think you're gonna be okay.
Let's hope you're right.
Well, the lights went out last time, but she didn't.
This wasn't supposed to happen
The
again!
memory of her own fate haunts Emma Sloan and fills her with dread. This time, she does as she's told. It's not enough to save her.
It didn't matter. No matter what was done, it
Alice
didn't matter.
and Barry, my wife and my best friend, are easily the two most important people in my life, and they've never really gotten along with each other. I suppose
Funny.
both of them resent the other's intrusions into what they considered their domain. After I was gone, they maintained an uneasy truce. My book stayed in print, still selling, the licensing machine churned away. She was my wife and controlled the intellectual property. He was my agent and took care of the business. I wish they found more common ground than that.
Oh, I don't think that would ever happen. I know where the other one is already. Let me get it, thank you. I don't like that I have to do all this again.
It's said that nobody knows what the future might bring, but for this man, it's no longer entirely true. A weaker man might simply give up, but the champion of light is an expert on destiny. Sometimes the puppet and puppeteer can be one and the same.
Maybe I should have taken her with me.
Mount Redtooth, its top littered with man-made eyes that stare into the endless depths of space. Tonight, the champion of light will depend on them to pick out a message from the ether.
Great, so I watch this again, and I go through all of this again. I don't like time loop stories.
As history repeats itself, the man remembers the patterns. He knows that he needs the missing part for the telescope.
Okay.
That's where the camera should be.
You're already here. Those grenades can hurt enemies. Ha! He eliminated himself! Who would have thought that would happen? Is there anything I can glean from the radio now?
Praise be, you guys are coming through for me. A pretty little light just started blinking on my board here, and that means there's a caller out there.
Okay.
When hours stretch into eternity like this, when it feels like I'm stuck in a rut and just reliving the same endless night over and over again.
Great, they're gonna go with the loop
Genuinely
thing.
touched by someone actually reaching out to me, breaking the monotony. I just want you to know that it really matters to me.
This guy should be on Twitch.
Did you know that this is my dream job? True.
That guy should be a streamer. How do I get in there? I want... There's something I want back here. Manuscript.
When Dr. Rachel Meadows got the call from Michael, telling her to hurry to the observatory, she didn't waste any time. It had been a nice party. She'd had a good time, but her social life would always play second fiddle to the mysteries of space. Michael never showed up, of course. He pulled over at the wrong rest stop. She never even thought about him at the time. The phenomenon in the sky above her was too fascinating.
Is he the guy that died at the bar? Must be the guy that died at the bar. Wish I could just keep running. Would make things a lot simpler. Wait, for the hunting rifle? I like my shotgun. I must have 30
There
then.
are places where our world is worn thin, and another reality brushes against ours. One such site is Cauldron Lake near Bright Falls, Washington.
Okay.
But there are others. That other reality is dark, vast, and malleable, always in flux. In its depths dwell vast forces and alien energies. They're dangerous. But in one of these places, if you know how, you can channel the power of that place and use it to shape reality.
Okay. There's another one, like, right here. Good.
I've seen the enemy, and it's me. I've faced dark horrors before, things that live in the unimaginable pressures of the world beyond our own. Sometimes they masquerade as humans. That's what ultimately lurks inside Mr. He's every mean-spirited tabloid story about me, an evil caricature, a creature formed in that vague territory of misconceptions, half-truths, and the dark imagination of people who heard a story about me. An urban legend made flesh, a serial killer, my dark half, brought to life by the power of Cauldron Lake.
Okay, interesting. No spider webs this time? Spiders aren't deadly enough? No, it's a poltergeist.
The darkness rose from the depths.
I guess
of
we're gonna
Cauldron
loop
Lake
one
and
more
took
time.
us.
I'm
It
betting.
needed words. It needed me to write its way into our world. She was leverage, a hostage. I complied, but with a twist. I put in a loophole that gave me a chance to fight back. I was hunted by shadowy enemies, but I faced the darkness. I fought it with light. I drove it back. I saved Alice, but it came with a cost. I was trapped in the dark place below Cauldron Lake.
Oh yeah, that's right, the car. The trunk. Ah, that's what that was. Oh, hey, wait a second. My path is blocked. Well, I guess there's always an alternate way. That's fine, they're not really a threat. Close. Close. What happened to the body? Can I please, like, pick up the manuscript, please?
Stories come naturally to us. We can't help it. There are many different worlds, many competing realities within our heads, fueled by books, television, even barely
Okay, I'll buy
remembered
this.
childhood tales. There's an endless supply of fictional concepts more familiar to us than anything or anyone real. We have a far greater connection to the fictional characters we know and love than the random people we pass on the street.
That much is true.
Our destinies and inspirations are shaped by lies, myths, and fables.
I'm not sure how much I'll buy into the last part, but I'll concede with the rest. I know.
It's you! How dare you! No, wait. It isn't you, is it? I suppose you'd better come in. I'll unlock the door.
Thank you. He sounded like Frank West, I think is his name.
I know what you're thinking. Evil twin, supernatural powers. But most of the time, I just like to keep things basic. I want you to understand that.
Okay. You like knives, hammers?
Like this. Need to get your hands dirty? No batteries, no moving parts, just physics. That's technology you can depend on. It's a classic.
Okay. What's your
Speaking of
favorite?
classics, you need to be careful with this one, though. If the victim suddenly twists, you might end up cutting yourself. It's not really a workhorse, but I'm a sucker for this style.
Okay.
Now this is more like it. You've got slip-resistant grip. Believe me, you really want that traction once you're wrist deep in somebody.
I wouldn't know.
The blade's stiff enough so it won't open by accident in your pocket, but it's still really easy to open with just one hand. Now that's a big thing for me.
Is it? Do you have a favorite there?
I know what you're thinking. It's too big. Too heavy.
It's too big! Too heavy.
Oomph. If you're talking intimidation, this is gonna do the job. Also great for dismemberings and whatnot.
I think that's a bit small for dismemberings. Your axe or saw there is probably better.
I can't tell you how many things I've MacGyvered with this stuff.
What, your gun?
Now, guns. Not a big fan. I mean, how are you supposed to really connect with somebody with a bullet?
You don't like guns, so you're the opposite of Alan then. You're the dark mage does not appreciate weapons.
I take pride in what I do. We can't both be worthless hacks, can we?
Rude!
You'll have to forgive me, but this feels very strange. It seems like this has all happened before.
Because it
Have the
has.
replacement part for your telescope, Doctor.
All right. Let's get it installed.
Oh wow, you're already going straight to that step. I appreciate it. Thank you for making this easy on me. Wonder how long y'all were upset at me holding on to that one last round.
I think we can give this a go, although I have this strange feeling that something
Don't
will go
start
wrong.
it up yet. There's a problem with the coolant system.
Yes, that's right. I remember. All right, let me think. If they're sabotaging it, they'll be at the primary coolant pipe outside. If you can secure it, we should be ready to pick up the signal. That is why
Okay.
you're here, isn't it?
Yes, it
Yes.
is. I'll take care of it.
Before you go, if you have the time, I'd appreciate if you came up here and explained a few things. All of this is very strange to me.
Let me go ahead and explain it to you real fast and then get back. You deserve an explanation after all. Plus, I think there might be a piece up there.
Hello.
I don't quite know what's going on, but I seem to remember
There
having
isn't.
had this encounter before.
It's not deja vu, Doctor. This has happened before. We're caught in a time loop.
She finds it hard to
Utterly
believe.
insane.
Yeah.
How could that be?
I can't really explain it. I suppose I could call it magic.
I don't believe in magic.
Neither do
Okay.
I. But I can't argue with what I've experienced. Listen, what matters now is the signal. The last time we only caught a part of it. I need the rest of it. Whether you believe me or not, you want to look into this as much as I do, right?
Yeah, she does.
Yes. All right.
I realize that you have trouble believing this.
That's
Who
an
wouldn't?
understatement. I can't deny that what you say resonates with me on some level I don't pretend to understand. But for all I know, I'm simply delusional.
But it's not just you. I've experienced the same
So
thing
did
as
one
you.
other person
Doesn't
that
prove
died.
something, at least?
Maybe. On the other hand, given your appearance and the fact that you're trying to convince me that I'm not insane, perhaps you're merely a hallucination that accompanies my delusions.
You're not having a psychotic episode, Doctor.
Not yet.
For what it's worth, I'm a skeptic by nature. I completely understand your reluctance to believe me.
There are people caught so deep in their psychosis that they retroactively manufacture memories and beliefs that conform to the situation at hand.
Sure, but you have to stop second-guessing yourself at some point, if you want to get something done.
That's actually fair. Okay, lower me back down. There's no point in talking to you about the time loop. You didn't believe me anyways. There's a paper outside. Okay. Manuscript. Where's the manuscript? It's right around here, right? Yeah. Ooh. Not enough. How about after this one? 29. Not exactly.
The Taken may well be the tool the darkness favors over any other. At some point, they used to be human, but whatever humanity they once had is long gone.
I thought they're all these
Now they're
things,
just
is it?
shells covered and filled by darkness. The Taken Mr. throws at me are more grotesque and varied than the ones I first encountered in Bright Falls. But I know how to deal with them. I'd be lying if I said they don't frighten me. But I've survived worse. I can't let them stop me.
Can I? No, I can't. Of course not. I'm not allowed shortcuts. If you want to fight me, it's your funeral. Like I said, your funeral. Then again, do they have their own will? If they don't have their own will, I somewhat feel bad for them. They can climb. Woo! That went through me! How dare you break reality! Dick shots! My most powerful move.
These beings hate the light, am I correct? You should be able to turn on the lights and secure the area that way. All right. I'll turn
Okay.
into the signal. Please, head back.
That's not so nice. Did it not make a difference? They're breaking the pipes. No, they're sending a car my way. Oi!
I guess they didn't like that.
Well, I failed to break the pipe. Oh! They're throwing everything they can my way. That's not nice. Oh, well, you guys I can handle. Oh! I had the footsteps, so my brain did not process it in time. Sorry, Ben. I will go up there when I have ammo in my gun. Do you have the full thing now? Probably only half, which means that I'm gonna have to go back in time once more.
You find the signal?
Yes, I don't think it's quite the same thing we had, the last time. Still, we're definitely picking it up.
Are we getting the complete signal now?
I'm afraid not. Take a look at it yourself. I'm printing out a hard copy now. I'd like to ask you a question or two before that, though. If you don't mind.
I don't.
What's on your mind, Doctor?
Most people would find these
But
events
I'd like to find
extremely
it
disturbing,
completely.
provided that they survive these creatures, that is. You seem to be quite adept at dealing with the situation. Why is that?
Yes.
My ears
I was
bothering
involved
me
in...
again.
It's a complex story. I was in this small town, and a horrible thing from another dimension kidnapped my wife and manipulated me into writing this horror story that came true. I learned
That's
to
all
fight it
hard
with
to
light,
believe.
and I managed to contain it and free my wife. But I was trapped in its
I'm sorry
world.
if that picked up on the
Are you
mic. I just
serious?
realized I brought the headphone
Absolutely.
close to it.
So, I'm used to reality working in strange or even impossible ways. And I fought these things, not exactly like this, but close enough for a good while now. Of course, I have certain advantages. Was there anything else?
No.
What did you mean when you
Yes.
said you have advantages?
At the risk of sounding like a lunatic, reality is much more fluid than people think. It can be influenced.
I
Okay.
didn't take you for a mystic.
I'm not. I'm a writer. And under certain conditions,
Make
I
that
can,
certain.
for lack of a
Yes.
better
I hear
word,
you say that every
rewrite
time.
reality. Change things.
That's absurd.
But it works.
Assuming I believe this, why don't you simply, I don't know, write yourself some superpowers?
It's not quite that simple. You need to follow certain laws of drama, I suppose. You need to think about consistency and symbolism. Often what you write isn't anywhere near as important as what you imply. There are
Okay.
things out there that will take advantage of your mistakes.
You really believe in this?
Don't look at me like that. You've experienced some of this yourself.
I
Yeah,
will
to be
gladly
fair.
admit that something exceedingly strange is going on. But this idea that you're somehow altering reality with your writing is ridiculous. You're essentially saying you're controlling my actions. Leaving aside the rational arguments against this, what gives you the right?
Well, it's more like having a destiny. A path you're on. You're not aware of it, but there it is. If somebody changes it, what difference does it make? It's what every writer does. If you write something that affects one of the characters, they don't really know about that.
I'm not a character. Are you
Oof.
saying that it's all right to take advantage of someone if they aren't aware
Yeah,
of it?
that's what it
Look,
sounds
all I
like.
meant was that if you're genuinely making all your own decisions, and those decisions lead to whatever destiny you have, what practical difference does it make?
I suppose that depends on whether our destinies are determined by things like physics and probabilities, or natural reality, which is presumably neutral and impartial, or by some kind of an intelligence. If it's the latter, that intelligence makes choices based on some criteria. If we suffer as a result of those choices, there's a moral and ethical element involved,
That's
regardless
fair.
of whether we're aware of its manipulations. Wouldn't you agree?
You're taking this very well. I thought you'd be hangry.
I suppose I would be if I thought you could actually do this.
That is a fair response, but I also agree with her.
Another printout. Another signal fragment. The message is still not complete, but it's another piece of the weapon he has built against his adversary. Mere words on a piece of paper, but in the right hands, they will hold back the darkness.
Can I just have a keyblade? That seems way more effective than whatever Alan is doing. What do you know? The Night Springs Drive-In Theater again.
The last time the man came to the drive-in, it did not end well. He hopes to avoid that fate this time. He hopes that what he has brought with him to this place is enough.
Sounds good.
Ugh. Serena's probably out of her mind again. But I'm gonna need that key so I can get the power back on.
Hold on.
To change the world, you must craft a blueprint for the new reality.
My
Any work of
ears
art
are
will do,
bothering
as
me.
long
I'm
as
not
it's
sure
a
why.
genuine act of creation.
Like
That's
the
what
outer,
the
not
energies of
the
the dark
inner.
place respond to. The results may be subtle and perplexing, or far-ranging and momentous. My area of expertise, the written word, gives much more precise results than music or interpretive dance would, for instance. But words can be extremely dangerous. What you define may become reality, but so can that which you imply, even if you
Okay.
don't realize you're doing so.
Not sure I agree with that, but we'll continue.
You again?
I'm really just here to get the keys so I can get the power back on.
Do you want to hold me down? It's okay. I know you like that.
Yeah, I'll just grab the keys.
I could be like your wife, little wifey, waiting at home for hubby. Or you could be the mailman. Or
Okay.
the neighbor.
I'm already married to someone who isn't crazy, thanks. I'm just gonna go and get the power back on.
Aww.
Look, I may or may not be back. I have the access code to the booth already, so once the power is on...
You should totally come see me. We could have fun. You know.
We'll see how it goes. You should sit down or something. Try to stay calm.
I do want to
wanna be
help her.
calm. I want to be nasty.
I wish
wanna
you
be
weren't
nasty with you.
so sexually charged right
Okay.
You
now.
could do anything you want. You can use my...
Let's not even go there.
Yeah,
I was hoping
thank
that you'd
you.
remember more, but I guess that was too much to ask.
Yeah, I'd rather her not get too far in detail.
I was about to do the weather, but I see we have a caller. Hey, you're on the air with Eddie. What's up?
Hey, Eddie, it's Ricky. You talked about fate before. You think about that a lot?
Not a lot, to be honest, but I take it you do.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Any conclusions you'd care to share, Ricky?
Well, we've got free will, right? That's in the Bible and everything.
Yeah, right, sure.
So free will, right? Am I right? I mean, if we can do what we want, how can there be fate? I mean, you don't know what's gonna happen next, so there's no fate. There's just people doing stuff.
Well, I don't know, Ricky. I don't suppose you have considered the possibility that we're all here in the service of a greater purpose. Incomprehensible.
I see.
And that what we take to be freedom is nothing more than the move of a pawn on some cosmic chessboard, limited in scope.
So he's speaking through him. Weird.
Existing only for their entertainment.
Or perhaps we're just a twisted reflection of actual events that can happen elsewhere. Could it be that such is life in Night Springs?
Dude, what?
Food for thought, Ricky. Food for thought.
He likes Night Springs then as well. I should probably come back and turn the lights on just to assist her.
Are you
Okay.
getting it yet, genius?
Getting what exactly? Nice try. That's all I need to know. I'm getting on his nerves, which means that I'm doing something right. I only needed 30 for this, right? This could replace this with the sawn off, but then I lose my range. I think I'll stick with what I got. Had I known that, I could have switched to the rifle or something. Gonna throw more cars. Oh yes, real scary. Fling all your cars at me. Them, on the other hand, bit more of a threat. I didn't get a good shot off. Didn't matter. That wasn't a good shot either. A bit closer than I prefer, but works. I need to reload. Okay.
I want to talk about Alice.
Go ahead. I want to
Just
hear
look
what you
at
have to
her.
say.
She's really beautiful, isn't she? Your wife. Well, our wife, really. Just my wife soon. Don't worry. I'm not gonna treat her like the others. She's special. If I wanted her dead, she would be. I've been around for a while now.
I'm a little bit concerned about that.
So talented. You haven't seen her new work, of course. Oh, it takes my breath away. Really, she's that good.
Okay.
Did you know that I've got a wedding ring, too? We're that similar. She's seen me a couple times, you know? I've let her catch glimpses.
You're toying with her
She
then.
thinks she's imagining things, of course. She thinks
I really don't like this guy.
You might as well be. I mean, even if you manage to keep surviving, you'll be in my trap forever. So I'll go to her. It'll be an amazing moment. Oh my God, you're alive. I'll be the good, loving husband for as long as I can stand it. She'll love it.
And then you'll kill her? Betray her?
And then, one day, somehow, it'll happen. Maybe I'll slip up, she spots something, or maybe she just starts running her mouth. And then, I'll do it. It's gonna be sweet.
Okay, you done being a jerk?
My darling wife.
About to shoot the TV if he continued, to be honest. Not that I think it makes... Actually, I could test. Does it even do anything? Nope. He made the TV's bulletproof. Oh, I have to go through all the power stupid stuff. That's 40, isn't it?
Like a little hamster in a wheel. Go ahead and keep running for all the good it'll do you.
There we go. I still don't think I have enough. Oh, I could pick up the assault rifle. I'm not sure I want to, though. I'd rather the combat shotgun. Which I don't think I can get yet. I'll not run through all the webbing. Well, I just did anyways, so it didn't make a difference. What I said I wanted to do and what I did were two different things.
For Serena Valdivia,
I don't know who
owning
Serena
midnight oil
is.
was more of an exception than a rule. A procrastinator and a perfectionist, she often worked when she wouldn't be disturbed. Tonight was especially important. The film festival would open tomorrow, and there was still so much to sort out. It wasn't that the work hadn't been done. She just didn't feel like she had completely mastered everything yet.
Okay. I'm gonna get attacked by spiders this time. The skittering is a bit creepy, won't lie. I'll take another flashbang, can't carry anymore. Oi. That scared me. Why was that the one I had to flip this time? I gotta run. Excuse me. The spiders aren't really a threat worth fighting. Okay, that's fine. Jump into the stupid light and get yourselves killed. I need to move. That was close. Well, let's hit the checkpoint. Oh, checkpoint reached. Never mind. Another thing.
If you die, you lose. If you quit, you lose. If you make it to the end of the loop, you'll still lose. Sucker.
Oh, I didn't realize that that's what I was facing. Ow! Close, but no cigar. He's up there. No, I need to go turn the light on. I'm sorry. I need to at least free her. Problem. Guess I gotta destroy the dark fountains first. Close. Yeah, I gotta go. I'll go free these and then I can go help her. Whatever's required. Whatever's necessary. I don't want to leave her for dead. Dang. I was a little bit too close. I see. So as long as those are destroyed, it doesn't matter. They die with it. Okay. Now that I know that, that makes this easier. Okay. Nope, I gotta help the lady first. Can't have him mucking about in her head. Plus, I could always pick up some ammo. Chill, dude.
you.
I
Yes.
guess you're back to normal again?
I don't know if I'm ever gonna be normal, but thanks. I know you didn't have to come back for me like this.
No, I
I
didn't.
couldn't just leave you like that. I'm sorry about the whole thing.
Not your fault. At least I'm not Little Miss Whore Slut anymore. Ugh, that's just... Hey, thanks for not, you know, taking advantage.
No problem. You don't seem
Okay.
too weirded out even though this is happening again.
Honestly, that pales in comparison with having that thing inside my head. I mean, it's crazy, but...
Not as crazy, yeah.
Really
Yeah.
mess you up.
That makes sense.
This is weird. I think what he did left something. I can feel that things are different. I just know that time's acting wrong. I don't know how to describe it. It's like I can sense it.
Okay.
I'm not surprised. A close encounter with these forces, it stays with you. Changes the way you see things. Some people can't deal with that. They just lose it.
Well, it's early yet. I'm not ruling anything out.
Okay.
I'm gonna go make my way into the projector booth.
Okay. Is there anything I can do? About the situation, I mean?
Hope that it doesn't happen a
It's
third
trap
time.
For me. I'm gonna have to go deal with it.
Uh-huh. And you got a plan, is that it?
I think I have a chance. Yeah.
Okay. Well, there goes all my stamina.
The Champion of Light knows that the time itself is about to end. At least for him. He can feel the dead end rushing towards him. But there is time to act. Incomplete or not, he has the weapon.
It was...
I don't have the whole
Really?
thing, but maybe it's enough.
It was late at night, summer was almost over. There was a film noir poster visible. Spotlight illuminated the red extinguisher. How do I... Where's the red extinguisher? I can't see what's there. Okay. It's late at night. So that's correct. That's correct. That's correct. And there's a film noir poster. Oh. Well, it didn't work.
It's not enough.
Which means that I'm getting sent back to the past again. Oh.
You're trying to be cute, aren't you? What are you up to? It's a waste of time, buddy. You should just lie down and die. Let me take over. This is the only thing you've got coming to you. From here to eternity. No matter how many times you come back.
I'm not even afraid anymore.
Time folds back on itself. Again, his senses scream as the very impossibility of what is happening assaults them.
Okay.
But the Champion of Light endures.
So, got one more run through.
Each time he gets a little closer. Each time another detail falls into place. Now the trap works against the Herald of Darkness.
Does it? I have the flare gun for a backup. There's a chainsaw man. Okay.
Holy shit! What are you, King Hillbilly?
That's dangerous. Just like, actually, that's not as good a comparison. I'm going with the joke anyways. Just like Dead by Daylight, shine the light in his face and make him look away.
Tor and Odin Anderson.
Don't do that in Dead by Daylight, won't
gods
work.
of Asgard. I still don't quite know what to make of them. I know they used to be rock stars who modeled their stage personas after Norse gods. I know they're old. I know that in their day they fought the darkness as I do. I know they're demented and insane, ravaged by age and self-abuse.
Okay.
But there's something in them, something powerful that took hold when they were touched by the powers beyond. A thing that goes far beyond just stage names. Something godlike.
Got it. Well, what's gonna chase me now?
Right on cue, bubbling to the surface from
Yes, yes, I get it.
the horrors come. The emerging monsters do not expect the warm reception that has already been prepared for them.
Ah. I see. They've already assisted me with this. Oh, my bad. Don't even have to twist it. Just that good. And here it comes again. Third time's a charm, right? There goes the destruction in the solar panels. Third time's a charm. I'm pretty sure that's the end for this. I'm nearing it here. Danger!
Next stop, saving Emma.
I don't want to bring these enemies here while I go on my saving mission. Oh wait, you're still up! Well, that went through my head, but it was a good effort. Oh wait. Reload. Of course. Good job, you killed your ally. Fair a lot of good that did ya?
Not as long as I show up, I guess.
So she remembers more this time then. Well, what? Fair, I guess. We both missed a shot that should have very clearly hit. So I won't complain as long as you don't complain.
Clear now.
Temporarily clear, I think. Thank you, though. Already got the key.
Yeah, thanks for saving me again. I'd hate to die before I'm scheduled to be murdered.
I guess I have you to thank for setting everything up at the oil derrick.
Yep, I appreciate
I
it.
figured that if we were going to go over this again, we might as well try to be smart about it, huh?
I appreciate it. You took a big chance doing that. You okay?
What do you think? I've died twice. I remember everything pretty clearly now. You said I was gonna be okay.
I was
I
wrong.
don't know what happened.
It's not your fault. I think one of those, what did you call them? The takers?
Yeah.
I think they did something to the power and they got me that way.
I'm sorry.
But I got the keys from the dead guy in that room. And I'm not handing them over until you do something about this. I'm sick of getting killed.
That's
Fair
fair.
enough. You seem calmer now.
I tried freaking out. It didn't do much good for me. I guess you get used to the craziest stuff.
That's what I was telling you,
Take
huh?
the edge off, you know?
Oh, you did
Those
something.
herbal supplements are pretty good, huh?
Oh, yeah.
I wanted to try to explain things to you now since you're calmer, but maybe this isn't the best time after all.
Oh, shit, yeah. Better not get all metaphysical on me now. Seriously, I'm like 2 sentences away from thinking how we could all be like atoms on God's skin or something.
Or figments of somebody's imagination?
Huh.
Wow. I'm just gonna try to chill out and not think about that or getting murdered or anything, if you're cool with that.
Gotcha.
Okay, sounds good to me. I don't mind helping you not get killed, because I actually kind of like you. Not as big a fan of the scientist lady. Holy! Yeah, I had that relatively well planned out. Will I have enough with this page? No, I'm not gonna have enough for
Emma
this
wasn't sure
combat
exactly when the
shotgun.
man arrived at the motel, but from what she could tell, the party started almost immediately. It was infectious, spreading
Okay.
from one room to another. He was mercurial, almost as if he was flickering through the scene, telling a joke here, throwing an insult there, oozing sex and violence and excitement. She had never seen
Okay.
someone like this before. He looked at her and smiled, and she felt her heart flutter a little. She knew he was the kind of man mothers warn their daughters about, but she told herself it didn't matter.
Well, it does matter.
So I've been thinking
Oh,
about
nice
Barry.
one.
I don't know
Correct.
what to do about him yet. I mean, I'm not gonna keep him around, that's for sure. Al.
Ah!
Al! Oof, little parasite. Your best friend. Really? That's the best you can do.
Didn't mean to light a flare.
I actually kind of like the guy. He's a plucky little butterball. He plays the clown. That's a hard road to take.
Is it?
But I don't need him sticking his fat face in my business.
That's fine.
Did you
You're gonna
know
lose
he's
this
been
time.
hanging out with the sheriff from that shitty little town? They keep in touch.
Got a crush on
Barry's
her?
about the only guy who insists that you're not dead. How about that?
Wouldn't that be a surprise to find out how right he is?
I might keep him alive for a while. Just to see him go to pieces when I fire his ass.
Rude.
Yeah. Yeah.
I wonder why he's so against their relationship. I get that he's all murder happy, but he takes a joy in specifically destroying Alan's relationships if he can. Okay, does that's all it takes to prevent them from doing. Oh wait, flipped on a light, so I can't mess with the breaker. Okay, that makes sense. I was about to say that's all it takes, huh?
Okay, I really don't think they can get to the power now.
Thank you. That's a relief. Here's the keys that you needed.
Thank you.
Hey, I have to tell you, at the diner, I went there with him. The
So
guy
you
who
lied,
looks like
okay.
me. Okay, I know I said that I didn't.
Yeah,
Lied to me twice.
Want to talk about what happened at the diner?
There was this guy from the observatory, and he just attacked the poor dude, smashed his face into the tabletop a bunch of times. It was horrible. I didn't know that he was gonna do that. I swear. And I just ran. I just left him there. I didn't even try to help.
There was nothing you could have done. It's not your fault.
Well, he's dead in that motel room now, so excuse me if I feel pretty shitty about it anyway.
You shouldn't blame yourself.
I agree.
I just didn't want to get involved. I have this tendency to just drop everything and run. I don't think I'm a bad person, but I didn't even call the cops. I'm such a coward.
If you'd called the cops, we'd have dead cops.
Yeah.
Do you understand? It's not your fault.
But I could have tried to stop him.
And you would have died.
If you had, you'd be dead. You seem to be doing a little better now.
Does she?
Yeah, I guess it just got easier once I got this thing off my chest. I just feel so guilty about it, especially because I didn't pick up on any of the warning signs. I just really liked hanging out with him, you know? He was smart and charming and funny and hot. The way you could be, I guess.
I guess.
Wait, you're saying I'm not hot? Rude.
He looks like you, he uses your name. Why does he do this stuff?
I'm not sure myself. Maybe he's just evil or my dark half. He does a lot of this stuff
Dark
I'm
half,
trying
most
really hard
likely.
to get away from. Things that just messed up my life.
I guess all those murders don't help either.
Yeah, I could do without the murders and the end of the world. Listen, I need to get going.
Yeah, go. I think I'm good now. I hope.
Good luck. If it all goes well, maybe this is the last time we meet like this.
God, wouldn't that be great?
Just
That
keep
would
those
be.
lights on, okay?
Well, she hasn't gone yet. Hey! She didn't die this time. I appreciate that.
The fate of countless individuals hangs in the balance, threatened by the machinations of the Herald of Darkness. And yet, for a moment, the Champion of Light breathes a little easier. He has saved one life.
Okay.
For this moment, it is enough. And soon, perhaps, he can put an end to this.
So no matter what, though, I show up after he did everything, right? There's just nothing I can do about that. Okay.
Returning to the observatory for what he hopes is the final time, the
I
man
hoped it was
feels
the final time last
anticipation
time.
and dread in equal measure. Soon, he knows he will have what he needs.
Okay. Time to get out and move on. I'm gonna get attacked right from the start,
Hello,
practically.
I was expecting you. I've already
Okay.
taken care of the imaging array, but you should still look into securing the primary coolant flow. With some luck, you may be able to light the area before these things even show up.
Okay. Oh, my bad. I need to unlock this. I was confused for a second.
Thanks for tuning in for the second part of our interview with Serena Valdivia and award-winning photographer Alice Wake. Now, Alice, we were talking about your husband, Alan Wake. Is that a sore subject for you?
Well, a little bit. Of course it is.
Why wouldn't it be?
We had our good times and our bad times, and on the whole, we had a lot of good times. He really made me happy. I don't mind being reminded of him.
So you're over him?
I don't know if I'll ever be that, entirely. I still think about him every day, literally.
Okay.
I find myself hoping for... Well, sometimes I think I see him just standing
That would be, Dark Me messing with ya.
I think most people who lose someone they love experience things like that. But on the whole, I'm doing all right. 2 years is a long time to adjust, and I'm not really the type to wallow in the negative.
Well, I know there are a lot of stories about Alan. He seemed to have something of a wild streak.
That's not really what our show is about, though. Look, all that
Okay.
stuff really gets blown out of proportion.
He had his problems, but it's really frustrating for me because people like to talk. They love to tell these crazy stories, and
And most of them aren't true. Yeah.
Well, the character
Half
he
truths.
created, Alex Casey, is a household name. The books still continue to sell. There's been talk of a TV series, a movie, a video game. Must be nice to know that his work is still
That'd be
being appreciated
interesting.
by so many readers.
Yes, of course, but I don't really deal with the business side. I leave that to Alan's agent.
That would be Barry Wheeler?
Yes.
Actually, I just interviewed him. He's currently in the music business.
Yes.
And he's also Alan's best friend. You two
No.
We talk regularly.
Wait, they do?
Said he handles the business side. I think we should talk about her film.
Yes, of course, you're right. I'm Eddie Rodman, talking to Alice Wake and Serena Valdivia, and we'll be right back.
I didn't realize that they actually kept in touch. Maybe they did connect on a closer level. Oi! Well, you're unlucky that I got that off just before. I need to flip this on, please. Oh, what a shame. You don't like the light? Yeah, this is gonna happen again. What a surprise. I gotta be careful of all the threats they throw at me. That's new. Crap. I did it too early. Dang, 3 and 1. They're not really scary when you can kind of blind them with the flashlight like that. What a shame my lights are going away. That was a bit closer than I'd like. You know, now that I think about it, this game is literally look at and shoot. Not that I'm saying that's a bad thing, just hindsight. Just thinking about it, you know? That's kind of rude for you to have done that. Can you let me in? Thank you. I'm dying, apparently.
This is what you look like.
Yeah.
Does that bother you? I bet it does. I'm not just wearing your face, you know. It goes a lot deeper than that. There's a lot.
How much deeper?
of me. All the best parts.
Well, that depends on your view of the world, I suppose.
At first, I was just an idea. But they kept telling all those stories about you. You already had that rep. And then you disappeared mysteriously. And then The stories about bad, crazy Alan Wake came true. And here I am. That's the best part, isn't it? When that happens, you can always count on Cauldron Lake.
That's true.
I'm just as real as you are. And I'm the improved version. No fears, no doubt, no weaknesses, no self-deception here. I don't let anything drag me down.
Okay.
I know you like I know myself.
Because
I
we're
know
the
it
same
bothers
person?
you that I'm like this. That I use your name, crawl my way into your life. But I only do it because I'm better at being you than you ever were.
Wow. That wasn't the way that I was expecting it to go. Yep. Up and angry. Of course. Why is it I'm stuck permanently down the health state? I need my flares. Okay. That was close. You were close, but not quite there. Oi! I was trying to pick up some ammo. Rude. We have another wave? No? Okay.
There, I have it. But I wish these things would stop blatantly violating the laws of physics in my observatory. That's just rude.
You're my least favorite character in this.
I'm glad. I'll send the list down to you. I remember our previous encounters very clearly now. But technically, if this really is a loop in time, we've never met before. I don't know why our awareness persists, but it's bloody fascinating.
Okay. I still don't really like you.
Doctor?
You know, I know physicists who would give 15 years of their lives for a chance to experience something like this.
I'd
Well, I
imagine that
wouldn't.
being stalked by horrible axe murderers would curb their enthusiasm a little.
Probably.
You've never met hardcore physicists.
I'm glad you're in such good spirits, but
The signal! Yes, it's completed.
finally. If all goes well, this should be the last time we go through the loop.
You know, I just realized that I don't have any memory of what happens after you leave. What does that mean?
I don't think it means anything. If everything goes well, you just keep going. I don't show up here like this again, no more bad guys. Things go back to normal.
That'd be
You're
nice.
right. I'd love the opportunity to look into this in more detail.
Looks like you've accepted the situation.
I'm a pragmatist. If this is a delusion, at least my first psychotic episode is anything but boring. Really, Mr.
That's
Wade,
fair.
At the end of the day, I'm a scientist. I love mysteries. I love not knowing. Whatever
You
else
love
is
not
is
knowing?
Absolutely fascinating.
I
want
thought
to
learning
accomplish
things was what you
Is
liked
everybody in
doing.
the world experiencing this?
Who knows? I think reality's probably pretty fragile right now. Doctor, I can see you're very enthusiastic about this. I'd appreciate a bit of discretion.
Are you suggesting that we should suppress this?
No. You can do what you like, but I want you to leave me out of it.
But
Okay.
surely, with the things you know, the things you've experienced, you can replicate any of these results. We could...
Let me be blunt. If you drag me into this, I'll deny everything. I'll lie like my life depended on it. And writers are damn good liars. Word of advice. This is things man was not meant to know territory. You get into this,
Okay.
chances are you'll open up a door into a world of hurt. Believe me, I know.
I see.
Well, if that's how I'm gonna be about it, she has no
Strange
choice.
way, he feels at ease. He is armed with his own words, and when the time comes, they will be enough or they will not. For now, he's content to let the currents take him toward the final confrontation.
Cool. The final confrontation. I would appreciate that.
Once more, we return to the drive-in. If he's aware of the absurdity of arming oneself with a few sentences and standing against a power that can pierce time itself, he doesn't show it. The man has his share of weaknesses, perhaps more, but cowardice is not among them.
Restore power? Where am I? I'm already there.
Oh, you got yourself a little plan, do you?
I do. What do you know? It's rather effective. And so was that. I could use the ammo though.
The dark place is utterly hostile to human life.
Okay, that's not
It wants
surprising.
you to succumb to madness. Your own thoughts can turn against you. Every
Be
shadow
a bad
conceals
place
a
for
threat
me.
that attacks at the slightest sign of weakness. You're under endless assault. Every day is a struggle for survival. But I've learned to take care of myself. I focus on Alice, our life together, my need to be with her. That takes me a long way in the dark place. As long as I have my gun and the flashlight.
Okay. I imagine he'll be able to do it. At one point he'll lose the gun and the flashlight and he'll have to be able to do it without those two. That's just my theory. Oh, my bad. Hillbilly Man's not as bad as I thought he was. I need to be able to back up if I need it. Ow, ow. Cool. With only use of 20 bullets. Let's go ahead and grab what we can. Flashbang will be nice. Okay. Maybe it's all three this time? This is literally guesswork. I really don't like this type of puzzle. Oh, wait. I think I see what it is. I just got lucky all those times. Yep. Hey! Yeah, I was about to say, they actually made this harder, but I tried to make it in one go, and that didn't work out. There we go. Danger! Danger! Oh, nice. That's fine. Act like I'm afraid of a poltergeist.
You're never getting out of this, Wake. Never! Don't worry. I'll take care of your wife and your life.
I said that? I didn't realize that I said that. There we go. That gets rid of them. I still need to go and save the girl. But I'll be able to help. I'll be able to do that after I turn off the alarm system. Yeah, I know. Oi! I'm alive. I didn't expect it to bounce like that.
But I'll send you right back to the beginning.
Go ahead, try it. There we go.
When the dark man's eyes suddenly locked into Serena's, she flushed hot. They ignited a black fire.
Oh, Serena's. I know who
He was
Serena
talking.
is.
He wanted the power turned off. He said something about the projector booth. She hooked a finger under his belt buckle. He grabbed a hold of her throat and twisted until it hurt. Somewhere deep inside, a part of her screamed in paralyzed horror, but the moan that escaped from her throat had no panic in it. "Pay attention," he said. "Business first." His eyes glittered shamelessly. Hers did too.
I see. I'm gonna get attacked by all the... I'm not? Well, let me go help her. I didn't get my chance.
You think whatever it is you're gonna do is gonna make a difference? This'll end up just like before!
You truly believe that? I guess I have to go and do my combat then. That's fine, I can do this real quick. And then I can free her. Let me check something real quick.
I've been around for a while now, you know? Well, you've been...
One sec.
There's more to fighting the Taken than just burning away the darkness that protects them. When I'm fighting for my life, I find myself slipping into a state of intense concentration that makes the beam of my flashlight seem more powerful and focused.
That would make
I used to think
sense.
it was just my imagination, something brought on by the adrenaline and fear of death. But now I'm not so sure. I've been touched by powers that I can't begin to truly comprehend. And they've left a mark. I'm starting to think this might be a part of it.
Disposed? Stuck in the darkness? I've been busy. I operate in the shadows. I always later let you understand. I'm a little more resilient than those I've taken. I do my best work in the dark.
Okay.
And there's so much
goes deep. And the things that live in it are fast, big bastards.
Okay. I don't know why there's a period there, but whatever.
All that chaos and madness, it doesn't really do that much down there. It's like pouring a glass of water into the ocean, right?
Which would be a waste of water.
But up here, yeah, you can really make an impact.
Oh, the video's desynced.
Someone to bring them all the way through. But first, I had to take care of you. You party pooper.
Hey, I'm not a party pooper. I can be just as fun as you.
Now. The sun's never coming up for you. Everything else? Do my thing. Getting a bit of quality time with Alice. That's a little
creepy.
Something for me. And I deserve it.
Well, let's go ahead and deal with this. Oh, what a shame. Can't believe that happened. That's not good. Ooh, you all left this pretty well exposed. Oh, you all came up fast, though. There. No, my bad. I need to go and help her at the very least. And I wanted to hear her last thing on the radio. There we go. There's this too. I almost have 40.
I held the film canister in my hands. I saw her name written across it in big letters, followed by the title. It was a time capsule. Moments snatched from times gone by. From a past that I hoped could also be our future. It was my salvation, our chance to be together. A tin can with a bit of magic in it that she didn't even know about. Something I could put to good use. There were only moments left before I had to face him.
Okay. Yeah, the lights are off there. I can't even listen to the radio, so her thing's out. Not gonna even respond. That's kind of good. Oh wait, the radio's there. Never mind. Let me go ahead and turn the lights on for her.
Oh, hey.
I'm hoping I can put an end to this now.
You'd better. I really don't want that to happen to me again. It's like somebody vomited in my brain, like a sleazy movie that keeps looping in my head.
Yeah, that's not
Stop
fun.
This, I swear.
You know the part that's really screwed up? If you mess it up, it'll just keep happening forever, right? I don't think I can deal with that.
Don't think about that.
I'm
I
not
don't
sure.
think of anything but.
Hey, afterwards, when all this is done, look me up. This thing, I can probably help you deal with it.
Hopefully.
It's almost like I'm not even in the same world anymore. Everything's just weird now.
Yeah, I know. A lot of that'll pass with time. But being touched by the darkness, it's rough on you. It's a lot to process. And I just don't want you to get completely screwed up by this.
Might be a little late for that, to be honest.
Well,
Yeah, well,
oh well.
there's degrees.
Nothing I can
At least
do.
you're not at a point where you go around picking fights with people over not changing their light bulbs often enough.
What?
Yeah, that happened.
All I'm saying is, you're not alone with this. And anyway, you're friends with Alice, so, you know, any friend of hers.
Thank you.
Let me go ahead and listen to her thing on the show, though.
Hello, folks, and welcome to the third part of our pre-recorded interview with Serena Valdivia. And
Oh, this is pre-recorded.
So, tell me about the film.
It's called Sunrise. And it
Oh,
really
that's gonna be her
wasn't
thing.
It was an actual film. It was just footage, things I saw and happened to shoot. It's not a medium I'm very much at home with.
You shouldn't put yourself down. You've got a great eye.
Maybe, but experience is another thing.
Because you're primarily a still photographer.
Yes.
Exactly. So I'm really used to thinking of the world in terms of snapshots. I frame something and try to pick the right moment, and then reveal that moment to people. Moving images are a different story.
That is true.
I'm still learning a lot about it, to be honest.
So, this is a new thing for you?
I think she just explained
Or
it.
maybe I'm just a slow learner. But showing it like this is definitely a new step for me. It's a little weird taking something this intimate and
Sorry, I
showing it
gotta
to
do
everybody.
something.
Not that the material itself is somehow shocking. It's just that those were private moments.
But that's why it works, because it feels genuine. It's not so much a story as it is a sort of an echo, showing us how you saw your husband at the time. It's not really about the sunrise itself or Alan watching it. It's about you two together.
I suppose.
Okay.
It's funny, looking at it now, especially now that it's been edited like that. It takes on a life of its own, almost. It's a kind of a fantasy.
Well, there's nothing wrong with that.
No, you're right. I'm glad you talked me into it.
Okay. Oh, wait. Make sure that I'm stocked. There's something out there that I need to grab.
The clothes I wear now I shaped from dreams and memories. It's an old outfit, originally from the 90s. The last time I wore
She's
it was
not
when I
back
was
to
still
her
writing,
previous
and
form,
Alice
is
and
she,
I
when
took
I
a
walked
vacation
away?
in the desert before our troubles began.
So she's
The night
talking like it.
before, we'd been at a party, and I had dressed to the nines. On that lazy day, I put on these old clothes, worn and comfortable. Alice made a joke about grunge. I felt a little embarrassed, but I stuck with them. We were very happy. I'm sheathed in good memories to remind myself of what is at stake.
Okay. You're alright in here, right? You're talking to yourself. Okay, as long as you're not back to the crazy you. Or, I guess the better... No, I think she said it best. There's no way to reward that. I don't want to sound mean.
Again, the champion of light enters the final trap. The new reality is almost here. All he needs to do is change the details of the scene, push it past the breaking point, and the rest will snap into place.
Well, I know this much by memory. Elsa's film was in the projector. Elsa's film was in the projector? I don't suppose turning that on screws anything over, right? How do I do that? I don't know how to change a projector. It'd be here, right? There's late night, summer almost over, the film noir, spotlight on the red extinguisher. Is that not it? Is it over here? Ah, her film. Well, this seems to be going right. The darkness is still coming, though.
Oh, come on, buddy. Why don't you... What? What is this? No! No!
Well, you had your fun. But this is my story now.
Can't do this! All I did was take the things you always wanted and never had the balls to go for. It's my turn now. It's my life. It's my
No, it's mine.
Alan? Is it really you?
This isn't just on the projector, is it?
I love you.
I love you.
Okay.
A woman, a man, two lovers, held apart for far too long, enveloped in the light of a glorious dawn. They both feel it. He's home at last.
Okay.
Are these actual events, or merely a dream? A memory, or a glimpse of what is to come? One thing is certain. This scene takes place in another time, and another place, far, far away from Night Springs.
Far away from Night Springs, or far away, period, brought to you essentially by From Night Springs. Couldn't tell ya. But that would appear to be the end. So I will find somebody to host real quick. If it would let me. And let's see. We will host. We'll do lone. I'll see y'all next time. Bye.